Coming to you from Investor Town Hall's headquarters in San Diego, California, I'm Daniel Wong. On today's program, Investors' Opportunity Right Now in PBIO, Pressure BioSciences CEO talks about the bright future ahead. Stay right there. We're talking about what investors need to know about PBIO. President and Chief Executive Officer Ric Schumacher is back on the program with us today, and we'd like to thank Ric. Ric, thank you so much for coming on the show and giving us some updates here.
Thanks for having me, Dan. Appreciate it.
So, Ric, last time we spoke, you've had a lot go on. Just recently, you had your annual meeting, and you just filed your proxy yesterday. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yes, we sent out the 8-K yesterday with the results. Everything that we proposed, all the proposals in the proxy were approved. I think the most important were that Kevin Pollak and Vito Mangiardi, who are existing members of our board, were reelected for another 3-year term. In addition, we had a proposal requesting permission from our shareholders to enact a reverse split if it was done as part of an uplist to the NASDAQ or New York Stock Exchange. And I'm happy to say that that was also approved overwhelmingly with about 99% of the votes in favor of that, so that we were able to get the proposals in the proxy approved, and that 8-K was filed yesterday.
Well, very important step, and glad to hear everyone's in favor of that, obviously. But Ric, you also filed an S-1 last week. Is there anything you can tell us about that?
I really can't. We're in a quiet period because we have a filing that's been then submitted last Thursday to the SEC. So unfortunately, I can't really talk about that.
Understandable, but for our viewers out there, an S1 is a filing, obviously, that's very necessary for companies to file for the fundraising they're going to be doing, and also for the uplisting to the NASDAQ, which is one of the goals that PBIO has end of Q2, getting back there. But it's very typical for these companies to do these types of things. We typically are going to see a reverse split of some sort in order to fulfill the requirements to get back to the NASDAQ. And it's very important for investors to realize getting to the NASDAQ is now going to allow broker-dealer coverage for the company, as well as institutionals to get more heavily involved. But Ric, let's get back also to, you announced fairly recently, in December 16th, Obama signing in the Cancer Moonshot initiative. Can you tell us a little bit about that, though?
Sure. The Cancer Moonshot was an initiative that President Obama talked about in his State of the Union address on January 12th. And in this initiative, he was proposing that we put that the country put about $1 billion to work to try to do in the next 5 years what would normally take 10 years in cancer research. And this was a very aggressive proposal. And I'm happy to say that the week of December 12th, the president signed the law into the bill into law, and we're excited about that. So now there's going to be $1 billion that will go into cancer research, and it's going to spur a lot of new investigations, a lot of new data. There's a very complex program that's going on, but the whole purpose of the Cancer Moonshot is just to try to get researchers not only in the country but around the world to work together, to share data, to share programs. And we, of course, as a company, we sell a very what we call state-of-the-art method for researchers, including cancer researchers, giving them a way to break apart the cells that they have to look at inside. They have to look at the DNA, RNA, proteins, lipids, and other biomolecules. We give them a whole new method of breaking them apart that we believe, and a number of our customers now have published that they believe gives a higher quality, a better way of breaking cells, which of course can lead to better results downstream. So we're very excited about this. We're very excited that it is now a law, and that the funding is going to become available. And as you know, we already have sold some of our brand new instrument to Cancer Moonshot collaborators.
And we're looking forward to seeing the results of that, obviously with a major player like SCIEX behind you, and the Cancer Moonshot, which is really getting a lot of attention lately. I think that should definitely put PBIO on the radar.
Yes, we've gotten a number of calls. The Children's Medical Research Institute near Sydney, Australia, purchased the first 3 of our new instruments. This new instrument is computer controlled. It has many more what we call bells and whistles. for the investigators to look at. So it gives them a better opportunity, and we think a more precise way of breaking open the cells, the normal cells, the cancer cells, that they need to look at all the biomolecules inside the proteins and lipids and things like that. And our first three of the brand new instrument that was just released in June went to a Cancer Moonshot collaborator in the Children's Medical Research Institute, and several more have been sold since then to Cancer Moonshot participants. So we're very excited that our instrument is going to be used by investigators in this extremely important program.
And Ric, now also recently there's been a little dip in the stock price here, and you've been very bullish on that throughout the year. Is there any reason that you're maybe not bullish these days?
I have not changed my feeling about the company at all. I am not going to comment about the stock price. It's not something that we can control. What we can control is the success of the company, and we've had an extremely successful year. We set out a list of 6 goals for the year. We have already completed 5, and we're halfway through the 6th. So very excited about the year. We still think that the year is going to end strong, and we still believe that next year, 2017, holds enormous possibilities and potential for the company. We're excited, probably as excited as we've ever been going into a new year, because of all of the things that were accomplished in 2016 are sort of a small tidal wave behind us that are going to take us into 2017. So no, we have no reason to be anything other than remain bullish about the company and what the prospects are for Pressure Bio.
Well, I appreciate you being able to answer it that far, and I do understand you're in a quiet period there. But let's talk a little bit here for our viewers. Obviously, the stock was in about the low 30s here. We hit a low of 18 cents at one point, and it's been stabilizing around the 20-cent range. And it seems obviously the company's doing a lot more now than they were previously. So it's possibly an undervalued situation, most likely an undervalued situation that we're looking at here. And also, equities.com front page had a highlighted story on you folks there. We've talked about in 2012, 2013, and 2015, the company's been hit with some selling at the end of the year, but the stock's proven to be very resilient as it's gone into the 40s and even the 50s coming into January, February, and into the new year. So I think it is pertinent to talk about that the stock's shown some very stable price ranges in the 20-cent range, and that there is some typical manipulation that does go on in the OTC. It's very prevalent, and definitely looking forward to seeing you get onto the NASDAQ, though, of course.
Well, again, 2 things I'd like to comment, but I won't. I can't comment about the stock price, and I can't comment about the drive to be NASDAQ listed. But what I will say is we are very happy with the way the year has unfolded. We've met all of the obligations and responsibilities that we've had to our customers, and we've also met 5 of the 6 goals. And the 6th goal is a long-term goal that goes into 2 years, and we believe that we've met the part of that goal that we wanted to meet in 2016. So it is the end of December, and we're very excited about the year that's just ended. Very excited that I can look back and say this is probably the most impressive and most successful year we've had so far. But so far it's very important because we're very excited about 2017.
Well, absolutely, Ric. And just to kind of leave everyone with this, we've seen analyst reports out there from a $2 to $3 range on Pressure BioSciences, which means on the low end for investors right now, if you get in the 20-cent range, we're looking at least a 10 times multiple. Ric's cleaned up the balance sheet. He's had sales hires on the way. He's had access now to several $1 million in funding. And obviously, Ric, now you're not on the road as much. You're focusing on the sales and driving the core business. All signs pointing towards substantial revenue quarters to come. Ric, congratulations. Thanks so much for spending the time with us. We'll look forward to having you on the show next time.
Hey, Dan, you and Lenny, thank you for having me, and happy holidays to all of you.
You, Ric, too. Well, hey, everyone, please catch more video interviews on InvestorTownHall.com in the webcast section, and tune in next time and get your voice heard. Stay tuned for the next interviews here on InvestorTownHall.com. Also, make sure to join a stock board to start the discussion and get your voice heard.